Hello bookworms, it's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to bring you my spoiler-free review of A Crown of Swords by Robert Jordan, which is the 7th book in the Wheel of Time series. So this spoiler-free review is for people who have read books 1 through 6 and are maybe on the fence about book 7 or just haven't continued the series yet. I'm going to do my best to give a really vague overview of my thoughts and feelings of this book without going into too many details. If you have already read the book, then I recommend checking out my book diary, which goes into all of my spoilery thoughts of things that happened in this book. I also ask that you guys refrain from posting any spoilery comments in the comment section of this video, just because I'm anticipating that most people who watch this video haven't read the books yet. If you want to leave a spoilery comment, then hop over to my book diary and leave it there instead. Okay guys, this book was so good. I loved it so much. I think it might be my new favorite in the series, which I don't think is a common reaction. When I hear people talk about their favorite books from the series, book 7 I don't feel like comes up all that often, and up until now book 4 was my favorite, which was The Shadow Rising. There was just a lot of reveals, especially about the Aiel and the Aiel culture in book 4 that I loved, and it really made that book for me. And then I'd say Lord of Chaos, book 6, was a close second, but now I think that book 7 has taken first place for me. This was the first book that had a lot of surprises for me. If this is one of my first reviews or Wheel of Time videos you've seen, you may not know that I have read a lot of the series before, I think up to book 12 previously, but the first 4 or 5 books I've read multiple times. So reading those is always a little bit nostalgic, and I know a lot of the plot points that happen in those. But starting with book 5, I noticed I was remembering less, and this book, I thought I remembered some of the big plot points, but I was actually wrong about some of the things that I thought I remembered anyways. But basically, this book had a lot of surprises for me, and it was the first Wheel of Time book that I've read in a long time that just felt really fresh and new to me. And so it's really hard to know if that played a part in how much I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm sure it played some part, but who knows how much of a part that played. I'd say that the pacing in this book was a lot better than in the last couple of books. The last couple of books I have noticed some slogginess, especially in the second quarter, but I didn't notice that at all in this book. I thought it was very well paced. I thought that a lot of the extra fluff and things that Robert Jordan has a tendency to sneak into his books wasn't present in this book. One of my favorite parts of this book are some of the romance developments that happened. One of the relationships is one that I really like that officially became official in this book. There was another romance that we haven't seen very much of that I was excited to see again. And then there was another romance that I had totally forgotten even happened. It was so much fun to read and made me laugh so many times. Speaking of laughing, Matt, of course, is a shining star in this book, as he has been in every book so far on this reread for me. He's just hilarious. I look forward to any of his chapters. Just seeing the world through his eyes never fails to make me laugh, and he gets himself into some ridiculous situations. Nynaeve has been a little bit on my bad side in the last few books. I've just found her a little irritating and frustrating, but she kind of made her way into my good graces in this book. She's definitely growing as a character and getting to be less frustrating. We didn't see a whole lot of Perrin in this book. We haven't seen a whole lot of him through the last few books, but you know, he reappears in the previous book at the end, and I was hoping to see more from him in this one than we did, so that was a little bit of a disappointment. And then there's Rand. I really liked Rand in this book, and I know a lot of people have mentioned or complained that Rand tends to be like a whiny character, and they find that frustrating when they read this series. I personally have never found Rand to be overly whiny. I mean, yeah, he can be a little whiny, but I also see from his point of view that, you know, he has all this pressure to be the Dragon Reborn and, you know, all these things that he never asked for and never wanted. He wanted to be a simple sheep herder. He didn't want this life. And so I've never really seen him as being overly whiny, but I know that some people do, and it is something that I can see why people would think that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think in this book, he is less whiny than in some of the other books. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case that was a problem or, you know, something that you had run into in other books. I think in this particular book, he's a little less whiny than usual. But again, I might not be the best judge of that. This book really reminded me why I love all of these characters. You know, they're all so different and individual, and Robert Jordan does such a good job of balancing the plot progression with the character development. I can honestly say that none of the characters in this book really bugged me or annoyed me at all. I liked all of them in this book. And last of all, I want to talk about the audiobook because I did listen to the vast majority of this on audio. I really love the narrators for this series, Kate Reading and Matt Kramer. They're fantastic, and I know I've said that before, but in this book specifically, I definitely noticed Kate Reading being like amazing. She does so many different voices, and there were multiple moments where I just had to pause the audiobook and just like listen to a section over again because her inflection and the way that she portrays these characters was amazing. I wish I had another word to say other than amazing, but I really love the narration, and Kate Reading especially stood out to me in this installment of the series. Okay guys, I think those are all of the broad, non-spoilery thoughts that I had about A Crown of Swords. Once you've read the book, definitely go check out my book diary so you can hear all of my spoilery thoughts on the things that happened, because there are a lot of really cool things that happened in this book. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like bookish content. I post 1 to 2 times a week. That is all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye.